that as we learn about the truth about 9/11, there are other forces of darkness out there that want us scared, oh, watch my language here, to the point of total paralysis. So when you rise out of fear of what they might do to you and you realize there are more of us than them, when you realize that a lot of the stuff is already out of the bag and we're presented with options here. Do we want to be a part of this? Do we want to do something good for our community? Do we want to actually stand up for women's rights in the truest sense of the word? Not this whole feminist type of, one way of looking at the situation. When you look at what's going on with the economy, women's safety is already plummeting. We have a level of apathy out there that makes me want to vomit and puke when I look at Portland, Oregon. All these people out there that think we're an island and nothing will touch us. Well, you will see now, my pretty. You will see now, ladies and gentlemen, that are in denial, as these things manifest, how responsible you need to be for the safety of your own life and that of your family. It's getting insane, folks. I'm not in any box of being a conspiracy theorist. There are layers and layers and layers of lies that my fellow conspiracy theorists are dabbling in and with at this time. This type of mass psychosis, let's all get a gun and prepare to kill each other. Let's prepare to shoot each other. Let's prepare to, I don't even want to verbalize the type of things that people out there that think they've woken up to some kind of truth are prepping to do tomorrow when the grid goes down. They're going to get theirs. They're going to get theirs. Only they don't know how they're going to get theirs. They're going to get whatever energy you're going to get, whatever energy you put out to the universe. This whole thing that we think we hate together, the New World Order, the system, what the hell are we doing individually to make our lives better, community-wise, to have those good times as things burn around us? Some of us have those capabilities. Some of us are able to see outside the box of the prison. Some of us are just trying to get to that point. But get to that point you must. Because when you have no more money, when you have no more food, and you have no one, you have no coach rooting for you in your corner as you are going at it in the 9th round, in the 10th round, in the 11th round against Tyson. When you are in this fight, when you are against those riot police, when you are up against the hammer of the system, your spirit is the only thing that's going to see you through. When you've got nothing and you've got no one else and you've got no home. You see, you could take a look at the fact that our economy is breaking down as some sort of confirmation that you need even more ammunition in your gun that you are greasing up on a weekly basis, because you've got to keep it oiled. You've got to keep that murderous weapon oiled. But how much time is spent exploring possibility? Portland's going to have that test coming to it. Every city, every state, every man, every woman, every child. This show is not just about 9/11, but we now go and we look 9/11, 10 years later, 9/11, 10 years later. What has changed in our perception of reality? What has changed in our perception of possibility? How have we changed? There are changes coming. There are changes we have already been through that are changing, altering how we identify ourselves, how we perceive the world. Think outside the box of 9/11 and think in terms of these solar cycles. A wave that oscillates, a peak of solar activity, a change comes upon the planet, new ideas, riding the wave of new ideas, new music, new thinking processes, a wave, and then a period of not as active sunspots. Things are slightly calmer. Then things pick up. There's more fighting. There's more talking. There's more human screwing. There's more things moving. There's more energy spiraling. There are more souls leaving the planet through being murdered through war and being born through the act of procreation, sex, conception. We're in a time of magnificent energy and possibility for creation and destruction, and it's manifesting now around us. We need not talk about how 9/11 was an inside job for the remainder of this program for 40 minutes. You have had 10 years to reach this conclusion. You have had 10 years to reach the conclusion of what are you going to do about it. You have had 10 years to realize who is lying to you in the mainstream media and who are your friends. You have had 10 years, many of you, to see the light. I am a soul on this planet we choose to call Earth. I am not white. I am not Afghan. I'm not Alex Ansary, and neither are you. Of course you're not Alex Ansary. But you're not Joe Smith either. You're not Jane Fonda either. You're in a biological spacesuit just like I am on a planet called Earth. We're all equal in this situation. We may have different levels of karma. We may have different perceptions on what's going on. But you and I both live in a goddamn police state right now. And our government killed 3,000 of us 10 years ago. And they've killed millions in our name, and the special interest that engineered this attack has built up the Communist Chinese Party. And now I'm speaking for myself, and this material does not come from anyone else, and I beg that you heed my warning. You watch China, and you watch what happens to this country, and you never forget how I warned you. That this stuff all stems from what was done in our name. You will see 9/11 being an inside job come out in the Russian media. You will see 9/11 being an inside job come out in the Chinese media. And you will see the whole world turn on this country after our leader, our loving leader, strikes another country and truly begins World War III. You think Libya was something? You've got another thing coming. So we have all these people that are in the left-right paradigm that think Obama's doing good because they're emotionally invested in this, and they think people that don't like Obama don't like black people. That's the paradigm they're in. Without even realizing the Libyan rebels that are supported by the United States, they are rounding up black people right now. I understand. I see, and I have to accept. There are things coming to this country that deal with this country's karma. What happens, though, to you is another situation where you are when all these things shift, when this country gets attacked, counterattacked, after it starts another large war of aggression with a larger superstate, with a larger nation. We can only imagine which one that might be. This country is not going to pay back its debt. The Chinese military was not created out of thin air with some of our own technology just for fun. They're not going to bury those weapons. Russia is now out of debt. Putin is going to return, and he will reign over Russia, over Moscow once again. And he said several weeks ago, the United States and Americans, they're parasites feeding off the U.S. economy. Well, of course, we know that. What country was it that's been funding our wars in Iraq and Afghanistan? Oh, yeah, that would be China. What country was that was hanging out with U.S. troops right outside my father's home country of Afghanistan? What is it, Bill? What's the name of that country, Bill? Oh, it's Russia. It's Russia. Now, Russia, they had a lot of practice raping Afghani women when they were there in the 1970s, invaded on December 25th, 1979. Babies were thrown in the fire. Genocide was taking place in Afghanistan. Do you see the Russians trying to be accountable for any of that? You know, I don't really want to get into my life story right now, but I came into a world with very abusive parents on both sides. By the time I was 19, I was shooting heroin. Living in this city, feeling disconnected from my family because I had no family to speak of at that time. My dad moved away to Washington, D.C. My mom moved in '95 to New York City to pursue her career in ballet. Parents, by the way, they met in German class in 1977, Portland State University. They were divorced immediately in 1980. It was as if they were cosmically brought together to serve a higher purpose, to bring me to Earth. And that's not to put me up here and you down here. You were brought to Earth by your parents too, to see what we're about to see on Earth. We were called to Earth to be here, to witness what we're going to see. Stay out of the religious arguments. Don't even go there when someone says, do you believe that Jesus and only Jesus is the way to salvation? Don't ever let anybody box you in, because that stems from fear. One that is truly confident with his Creator feels no need to point his finger at his peers and ask questions. Some of us have come to earth and we know things about this reality that other people don't seem to know. And it doesn't mean we're schizophrenic or crazy because the system tells us we're crazy and we're schizophrenic. It doesn't mean we're extremists because the system says so, because we have a heart, because I have a heart, because I don't want to see millions die, because I don't even want to see my fellow Americans raped and attacked and burned as some sort of revenge counterattack that may come in the future. I don't want to see that either. That's why I'm warning you. At those interests that staged 9/11 are going to stage the destruction of this country. And here we are. Here I am, for some reason, the last 4 years, ranting and raging about Portland, Oregon and Top Off 4, terror drills, martial law, checkpoints, Mayor Sam Adams making deals with the feds, Mayor Tom Potter making deals with the feds, black helicopters 2008, front page of Oregonian, they are prepping our city. We're 60 miles out from the ocean. We're not supposed to be concerned about this. We're not supposed to be concerned about this. That just last year in Christmas Day bombing plot was set up by the feds. We're not supposed to be concerned about this. Go on and on and on and on. Navy, Special Warfare Unit, running black helicopters over Portland, MH6 Little Birds, dropping guys on buildings. Bill, let's show some of those MH6 Little Bird choppers if we can get some graphics from the online world. You have people going, the internet's going to die, the internet's going to die, nothing we can do, nothing we can do. We still have the internet. This show is still coming to you on youtube.com/AlexAnsary. It is still coming to you. So while we have the internet, we are going to receive this information and activate our free will. In 1999, I truly felt that I entered into a new dark ages. And the reality is, in 1999, that was the 13th Baktun cycle of the Mayan calendar, which many believe ends the end of this cycle. Doesn't mean the end of the world, but end of the cycle, which means significant things could happen. Earthquakes, revolutions, riots, changes in ideas, relationships, breakups, new directions. Got it? Got it. Good. So, according to Kaliman, the end date of the Mayan calendar is not December 21st, 2012, it's October 28th, 2011. And here we are seeing an escalation of these earth changes. 310 or 311 was also significant in the cycle, and that's when the Japanese earthquake happened, also around the same time of an X-class solar flare. What am I saying here? These changes seem to correlate with solar flares, which seem to correlate with riots, revolutions. By the way, did you hear about the Israeli embassy in Egypt being overtaken by protests? You see the connection and things we covered in the past. In 1999, in that beginning of that 13th Baktun cycle, I had some sort of feeling that as just got out of high school, got my first apartment, got away from my dad, that was, you know, the good things that I received from my dad as someone that was from Afghanistan. He definitely had some culture to him and was a world traveler and a fantastic cook. He earned his master's degree here at Portland State University, worked years to get that going. So as a foreigner, he did a lot as a foreigner from Afghanistan when he arrived here in 1967, when he was 17. We won't get into the kind of demonic aspects that I kind of see in my father, that type of unbridled rage and anger that was directed towards family. But around that time period, I'm feeling strange about something coming around the corner. I'm having a premonition. I don't know what it is. When I was 8 or 9, I would have premonitions about a red sky, ATMs not functioning. I saw these things